This is the base plate drawing. We're going to draw this features of this part. We are not going to do anything with the dimensions because we have not learned that yet. We're going to review how to use relative and direct input for your measurements, and basically how to read the dimensions that are given to you and determine the dimensions that are not going to be given to you. If you have not already done so, you can go to New and follow along with this video, or you can create the file after you've watched the video, or you could try it on your own first. If you go to your New, you can start from your Start from Scratch option. And we're doing, this drawing is in inches, so you can use imperial. If you have not started the Start from Scratch quick startup menu, that was in a previous video, menus and startup video. You can also go to your startup, your start, and just start a new drawing. So let's go ahead and take a look at this drawing. And the first thing that I'm going to look at is where's the best way for our best place for me to start. I'm not going to start over in like this corner here because I'm missing some dimensions. I tend to start in the bottom left-hand side, but it really depends on the dimensions that are given to me. So I could really start anywhere from with this drawing, except for probably this corner here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start right here, and I'm going to go ahead and create my drawing here. As a reminder, you want to make sure you have your polar tracking, your object snap tracking, and your object snap selected. They should be blue. And we're going to be utilizing these items today to complete this first drawing. So I'm going to start with this corner here and move counterclockwise around my part. So my first dimension is this 2.5 inches for this feature here. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch my cursor out. And this is called a direct entry or dynamic input for your drawing. So dynamic input for your dimension here. Now let's look at this 1/2 inch. That is our vertical line here. And what I'm going to do in this case is instead of using the dynamic input, we're going to practice relative dimensions. So I'm just going to put my cursor anywhere on my screen. I'm going to do Shift 2. If you remember from before, that is the @ symbol. And then what it's saying is that last point of where you're at is going to be a temporary 0, 0. So when we put in our measurements, we want to pretend that this is our X coordinate, or X axis, excuse me, and our Y axis. And this right here is our 0, 0. So if I want to move in the down from this point down to here, that's going to be a negative on the X axis, excuse me, Y axis. So you can see your axes down here if you forget. So we're going to start off with the first numbers always are X, and we're not moving to the right or the left, or right or the left. So we're going to put 0 for that measurement, comma, to move to the Y measurement. We'll put in that negative 0.5. And that is our measurement there. The next one, we're actually going to use the polar coordinate system. And again, it starts the same way as our relative. I'm going to do Shift and 2. And the difference between the two is relative coordinates, you need an X and a Y coordinate. Polar coordinates, you need a distance and an angle. So we have to determine what the distance is from this corner to this corner. Well, we're given an overall measurement of 5.5. We can subtract the 2.5, and that's going to give us what's left over. So 3. So 3 is my distance. And then I want to do the angle symbol, which is our shift angle. It's right beside the M. And we want to do our angle. So if you remember from before, we have our 0, 90, 180, 270. We're going counterclockwise for a circle. And we're going to go ahead and put in our 0 degrees. And there's our measurement. Our next measurement is given to us. It's 2.5. And let's just go ahead and put that in as a dynamic input. And you'll find what works best for you. But I want to make sure that you're practicing relative and polar. I know this one's very easy to put in using just dynamic input, but I don't want you to forget about how to use the others. Now, this next part, we have a little bit of an issue. We don't know what this measurement is, and we're not given enough information for our dimensions to be able to figure it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit escape and stop at this point. And I'm going to choose my line, and I'm going to start back right here so I can do the vertical line here, which I can figure out the measurement for. So the first thing I need to do is I need to be able to select that endpoint. And notice how I have that little green square and it says endpoint. That means I have my object snap on, and I'm going to do the drop down arrow that I am using endpoint here. So see how it's checked? So it'll automatically click right now to endpoints, midpoint, center, quadrants of a circle, intersection, and if there's going to be an extension of a line. So I'm going to go ahead and select, and again, when it gets closer, it's kind of clicking there, and I'm going to left click, and now I have my line, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag it straight up, and here's where I have to determine what that measurement is. So from here all the way to the bottom is 3. I'm just going to subtract that ½ inch, so it is 2.50. My next measurement is 1.50, so I'm going to stretch my cursor over to the right, 1.50. And now I have to determine what this measurement is right here. And it's pretty easy. All I have to do is take 4½ and subtract 3, which is 1.5. And my next measurement is given to me at 2.00. And now I have this last measurement here that I need to go ahead and put my dimension on. So I know the overall size is 4½ by looking at this dimension over here. And then from here to here is 2½. So all I can possibly have left is 2 inches. So I'm just going to drag my cursor down and type in my 2.00. And then again, since we have that polar tracking on, or excuse me, object snap on, it's going to snap right to that endpoint. And hit escape to end my command, and you have just completed the base plate.